consumers giving new silhouettes a chance. In sneakers, it's really hit or miss, okay? You could bet it all on one specific model really taking off for a brand, and it doesn't do that. Versus you could think, okay, maybe this won't make a whole lot of noise. And in fact, it does, especially upon initial release. We've seen that, right? The New Balance 2000, that's really caught a lot of people's attention, even by some who aren't fans of the New Balance 9060, even though that really does remind me a little bit of it. But nonetheless, again, style is subjective, perspective is all individual. So let's go ahead and talk about pairs that I'm hoping, and it does seem like, consumers will give a chance. Now, I didn't know that somebody would go so hard in the comments for the Air Jordan 40. So in a recent video, I actually went over brand new Nike basketball pairs, but then also a few other signature models that we saw announced for release, whether it was with Hela or with Reebok. And so, yeah, they said, hey, like, no love for the Jordan 40. In my defense, the video was already way longer than I wanted it to be, so I was trying to just move along, but I still had in my mind wanting to just show love, like the person said, to the Jordan 40. Now, Jordan Brand said that they have done something, they've never done before. Why not do something we've never done before? I actually think what they said they've done, yes, it is brand new for them, but I don't think that's what's actually like setting it off for this pair with consumers. So, will consumers give the Jordan 40 a chance? They're already showing that, yes, they're more than willing to give this shoe a chance. Now, at $205, it certainly is cheaper than a lot of retros we'll see drop today, $215, $225, higher depending on what the collaboration may be. But I said in a previous video, what are you getting, right, for those price points? You're getting actual updated tech within this. Not that you don't get updated tech in, let's say, the 33, the 34, the 35, leading up to the 40. You do, but the full zoom strobel unit, also with full zoom X, that is major. And you can see from the reviews left on Nike, people love the comfort they have on foot with these. And that, I think, is super important. I know it like ranks lower on people's list of values because all too often the design and how good does it look, that ranks so much higher for people. And I get it. You want to look good. I respect it. But how does this shoe feel on foot? Again, for $200, it better feel amazing on foot. And Jordan Brand delivers. But I said I don't think that's the thing that really is setting this off and making it a winner for consumers, at least early on out the gate. It has wearability off the court. That is something that their 33s, and we can go through, right? The 33s, possibly the 34s. Let's go 35 when we're looking at 36, 37, 38. Most of them don't have wearability off the court, not for the average consumer. And people will flame Nike basketball for having so many of their pairs, whether it's a signature model or an inline model, look too close to a Kobe, specifically a Kobe 6. I get it. But also, you all flame a Kobe 9 Elite. Like, who is wearing that casually on a consistent basis? Probably not a lot of people. Some will, most won't. So you can't be that upset when designers and brands are trying to keep in mind, like, what is the real function here? The more functional a shoe is, the more likely you are to buy it. And so I think that's the secret when it comes to the Air Jordan 40. You can see yourself wearing this. Now, I think it was smart to have a more neutral colorway because it doesn't scare off people when they first see it. And I think you'll see a lot of people actually embrace wearing this off the court, especially as we see more colorways. So I'm going to say clearly consumers are already giving this a chance, and I love that. Continue to do that. Now, let's move along to another pair. I'm hoping that people give a chance. We're staying within the Jordan Brand family, and I'm only saying I hope because all too often, if it's not a traditional retro, and especially if it's not 1 through 14, people don't want to give it a chance. Sidebar, I'm still a fan of the 16, 17, 18 because that was the era of releases I grew up being able to have my own money in high school and buy my own pairs. All right, so let's move along. The Trunner OS. I think Jordan Brand has something here if they actually stick with it. I thought they had something with the MA2 and then they abandoned that. They abandoned the Delta 2. So let's see if they actually stick it through. Now, they could want to be committed to this. Consumers have to meet them, right? Like, you have to meet in the middle. There has to be some demand for them to continue to put out supply. Now, I love how these look on foot. I don't know if I love them enough where I'm going to just rush out and buy them. I'm past a lot of that now where, oh, I like a pair, that means I need to add it to the collection. No, it doesn't. But it doesn't change my appreciation for how they look. And I know some will say this weird new Jordan shoe because I've seen that said a few places. It's no more weird than a lot of shoes we've seen that have kind of the separation, the segmentation, or the illusion, right, that there's like a strap there. It's not, because people have rushed out to buy shoes that have the appeal of possibly being like a beefier cross trainer or something of that nature. I mean, again, if you slap Travis Scott's name on it, people would not question this shoe doing well. They just wouldn't. Okay, I think that's fair to say. Depending on whose name is on it, people really will like change their tune. But I think Jordan Brand has something here. I think it looks extremely comfortable. Again, if you've never had Cushlan 3.0 in a sneaker on foot, it's a game changer. I don't say that lightly, but it is a game changer. So if you're able to have something that is truly meant for lifestyle comfort with Jordan Brand, while I think bringing it into a more modern look, is that not a win? So I know the colorways are floating around where you have like a brown colorway, the pink one, which is for women, that will drop in the fall. I think a lot of men will also be interested in that. If you're pretty confident in yourself to wear pink, I think a lot of men will actually be interested in that. And I know I've seen some say, well, baggy pants with a shoe, that doesn't necessarily make it a hit. And then someone else said, yeah, neither do skinny pants. Like, neither do skinny jeans. You have to wear what works for you. Are there silhouettes where a wider leg looks better? Yes, it is. I think we can at least agree on that, okay? So please comment below, will you give the Trunner OS by Jordan a chance? If so, waiting for the right colorway. If not, is it something that you appreciate and admire? Maybe it's just not for you based on your style. And please, let me be clear, that's perfectly fine too. Okay, so I am excited though to see more colorways and really see how people pull these off casually. Now, the final pair that I would love to see people continue to give a chance to. I forgot to speak about this pair earlier on in the year because that's when it actually dropped around All-Star Weekend, and that is the Anta Kai, the Hela pair, or specifically Roots. Oh my, like, I've already given them flowers because I thought Kyrie's sneaker with Anta was one of the most intricately detailed shoes that I think I've ever seen, whether it be for on-court or off-court. But it just so much goes into it, and these shoes really are him. He is so happy, and he stands on having his Native American heritage built into the shoe itself. And we know that Hela, meaning little mountain, that is his name that honors his Native American heritage. I love it. Now, again, random sidebar. When I hear Hela, I am a big Thor fan, so I think of Ragnarok and his sister. Okay, I really do. But Hela in relation to Kyrie, okay, that means little mountain. And when you look at this Roots pair, right, it's truly a lifestyle pair. One of my friends was actually invited to like an Anta Kai experience, and she was able to have both pairs on feet. They look so good. I know this is not for everyone. Having 3 sets of laces on this shoe is doing too much for a lot of you. I get it. I'm not mad at that. But when we say we want something different, is this not different? Is this not different? Listen, it's different, it's bold, it's creative. It's doing all the things that I think that it needs to do. Okay, so could I see myself like having this in the future? I actually can. It reminds me of how I felt when I got the Stray Logan Puff in, and I love the earth tones. Now they have, you know, black as well, but I think black I would actually rank like that pair third from the other pairs that we've seen. I'm a really big fan of those super colorful laces, okay? I really am. So yeah, flowers to Kyrie. Really hoping that he has an amazing recovery so we can see him back on the court. Like, it has just seemed like a really long time that we haven't had him, but really wishing him the best in recovery. Again, I love that athletes are also going to brands that you don't normally put as like 1, 2, or 3, right? They're breaking away. We understand his situation was different, right? But athletes are choosing to go away from a Nike or a Jordan or an Adidas, and maybe it's with other brands in which they have much more control. So much creativity is going into it, which again, if it's more of the athlete in the shoe plus good quality execution, as a consumer, how can you lose? Especially if it's at a really good price point that agrees with your wallet. So go ahead and share your thoughts below on the 3 pairs I mentioned. So we have the Jordan 40, we have the Jordan Trunner OS, and then the Kai, or I should say the Anta Kai Hela, the Roots edition. So please share your thoughts, and please be sure to catch my recent video because yeah, there's definitely something I learned in buying less sneakers in 2025. And there's a sneaker pickup in there too. All right, with all that being said, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.